For 6,000 years, Jews have been hunted down, and the last time the world did not take seriously threats against the Jewish people, just before World War II, this ended up in the murder of 6 million Jews. This is not empty talk on the part of the Iranians. This is something that they consistently say, even as we're sitting down having a negotiation with them, and they're crying out death to America.
Leslie Marshall is a Fox News contributor, syndicated radio talk show host, and Kevin McCullough, columnist for townhall.com and also a radio talk show host. Welcome to both of you. Boy, these comments are getting a ton of attention. Good morning. It's good to have you both here. And they have clearly lit a spark that is making some people very angry, and others are talking out in defense of Mike Huckabee. So, Leslie, I mean, his argument is, let's not appease this enemy, because the last time we did that to an enemy that wanted to obliterate the Jewish people, they followed through on those actions.
Well, first of all, to compare Iran to Germany prior to World War II, to me, is just historically inaccurate and apples and oranges. Does Iran not want to recognize Israel as a state and hate the Jewish people and make threats? Absolutely. The big difference here is when we invoke the name of Hitler or the Holocaust, or to say something like ovens, which my relatives have died and been burned in, having one Jewish parent. It is offensive, and not just to Jewish democratic organizations. In addition to many people who just feel that's inappropriate. Iran and the deal with Iran, it may be a good deal for some people, it may be a bad deal. The threats against Israel and protection of Israel are essential, I believe, to everyone, regardless of their political ideology. But to say this, and the motive some people feel is political, is offensive, and I'm very surprised. I love Governor Huckabee. He's a great man, and I was very surprised he said this.
I mean, a lot of people just question, why is it offensive to, call this motivation out for what it is, and in doing so, maybe you get a lot of attention, and maybe you bring people around to seeing this for what it is. Let's look at some of the tweets that have been sent out by the Ayatollah Khamenei. He says this barbaric, wolf-like, and infanticidal regime of Israel, which spares no crime, has no cure but to be annihilated. Another one, Israel is a cancerous tumor in the body of Islam. One more, Israel is the sinister, unclean, rabid dog of the region. So, Kevin, are we being realistic here?
I think Governor Huckabee said not only what he firmly believes, but I think in this situation, relationship trumps rhetoric. And when you look at President Obama and Hillary Clinton and some of their positions on this, I think that the people of Israel and Israelis, by and large here in America, agree with Governor Huckabee. CNN's new poll this morning seems to point that out. But last week, 12,200 people in Times Square, the largest protest rally ever held in Times Square, mostly put together by Jewish organizations. And there was a lot of this rhetoric involved in that rally. I attended it. There was a rally in Los Angeles this Sunday, San Diego, London, Phoenix, Arizona. These rallies are not happening in a vacuum. They're happening because people are concerned that when Iran has said, and all deference to my friend Leslie Marshall, if Iran says that if they have a nuke, that they're going to wipe Tel Aviv off the map, that brings very much memories of the Holocaust and Jews literally being incinerated. So I don't think this is intended to be offensive, and I think that the relationship that Governor has with Israel demonstrates that.
Yeah, let's take a look at the parade that happened last week, the Quds Parade, where they marched Israeli flags, U.S. flags, and chanted "Death to Israel, death to Israel, death to America." Leslie, what do you think they mean when they say that? What do they mean?
Well, I think they mean what they say, but we have to look at the facts. And the facts are, if Iran, whether with no deal in 2 months or whether with a deal in over a year, acquires a nuclear weapon and is able to build one with uranium enrichment that they're doing and have been doing, the reality is with one weapon that they could build with what they have now, the Israelis' arsenal of nuclear weapons would make Iran a parking lot in less than 24 hours. In other words, for Iran to attack Israel with actual weapons and not just words and threats would be suicide. It would be like putting a gun in the mouth of their nation and pulling the trigger. And they may not care about their people, but the leaders care about themselves.
But Martha, that's one of the reasons why in the Kerry-Obama agreement with Iran, buried in the middle of it, there is this paragraph that demonstrates the signatories' responsibility to protect Iran's nuclear arsenal if and when they get it. Most people do not know this. It's in the text of the agreement if you read it. We are going to protect Iran at Israel's expense. These are the kinds of things in that deal that Israelis are very, very skittish about, and they should be.
Thanks, you guys, for a thoughtful conversation. We got to leave it there. Good to see you both.
Good to see you.